8 entries. Yes, it was only for 3,000, but that kind of field down in London must have been a bit exciting.
Funny story about that one actually. So is that the 1K event that JP Kelly won?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah. So me and JP Kelly were JP Kelly was first in chips overnight going into day 2, and I was second in chips overnight going into day 2. And I think I'd played on the Friday, and day 2 was on the Sunday. That Sunday was the Sunday that Michael Owen scored that goal against Man City. So yeah, but on the Saturday, interestingly enough, I actually had my biggest ever cash game winning session ever. I was playing in the Vic in London, and I ended up buying in for about 5,000. And then, like at the when it got to something like 6 a.m., I was playing Bambos heads up. If you know Bambos, he was an absolute legend in the Vic. I absolutely loved him. But if he was on tilt or something, he would just play crazy, and he'd always like to go to the cashier, and he'd say more chips, please, and he'd get a big stack of the 5K chips. So no matter how many chips you have, he'd just come back and plonk 150K on the table. So yeah, I was up to about, I must have been up to about 65,000. So I was winning £60,000 in this cash game, and like that at the time for me was just like absolutely insane. It was, and then I ended up and Bambos was straddling every hand for me. So like we were playing heads up, and if I didn't want to put the straddle on, he was like, "Okay, Richard, I put it on for you." So like he was just trying to make pots enormous and things, and I was like, I'm in for £5,000. Do I really want to play 120,000 pot here? And it was also it was getting 6:30 a.m. So I had this big day 2 at midday, and then I think Sam Trickett said to me the next day, he said, like, what have you done? Like, why would you ever leave in that spot? That's the best spot you're ever going to get in a cash game. And I was just like, yeah, I had a day 2, and then I for that day 2.
At one point, you sat next to Chris Ferguson.
Yeah, Jesus was on my
left. What's that like, knowing he's won the World Series?
Well, yeah, he's quite an imposing character to be honest. I think I ended up playing one pot with him, blind versus blind. See, this is crazy because like I can even like this is probably one of my most mad poker skills. Like I can remember the exact hand that I played against him like 10 years ago. I had ace 10 in the small blind, just one hand, and he had king 9 in the big blind, and I just remember I hadn't played out, and I lost that to him, and I thought, yeah, I don't really want to get into another pot against him.
He just wanders around, doesn't he, all nice and quiet, but must be so intimidating at the tables.
Yeah, it was. I felt intimidated in that pot, to be honest. Yeah, and I think I got a little bit of a lesson taught in that one.
Did you play the World Series main event at all in Europe? The one down in London?
I did play that. I'm trying to think. But to be honest with you, that tournament back then, it was an absolute marathon, and like the structure. I was just sort of one of those kids who was trying to win it on day 1, and my game was not suited to playing that, and I ended up just frittering that one. I think I did. I think I got an okay. I think I got like sort of an okay start middle of the day, but I busted towards the end of day 1. But yeah, I was not pacing myself very well in those sort of events at that time, for sure.
I remember when I was down there doing the interviews and stuff like that. The quite a few of the Americans that came over were saying it's the best assembled field that ever played.
Oh yeah, it was insane. The household names, like obviously I was 19 years old, and I was starstruck because so basically, actually, before I played the main event, I played the 2,500 round of each Omaha and Holden one, and I had Helmuth on one of my tables. I had Barry Greenstein on one of my tables, and I was sat next to Doyle Brunson on one of my tables. So I was just like, wow. And then when I got in the main event, I had a couple of good players on my table. I had Mike the Mouth Mattis out on the feature table behind, and Negrano on the table there. So they were shouting over to each other. And like, if I thought I hadn't seen it all, like towards the end of the day, I looked over at Negrano's table, and yeah, Phil Ivey was sat there.
they're just fantastic fields. So every credit for trying to play in one of them events. We're just skipping forward to November 2013. You made your first GUKPT main event final table, and you finished 6th in the grand final for just short of 26,000.
Yeah.
It was a long tournament. It was the one that Kev Allen went on to win for 150k.
Yeah.
Do you know much about it?
So yeah, we just played in Blackpool the week or two before, and my friend Mike, who I used to travel around with, Mike Thomas Ziggy, he'd got a result. He'd come second in the £300 side event, so he'd won a seat, because back in those days in 2013, if you won a side event anywhere in the country preceding the grand final, you would automatically get a seat into the main event. So Mike had won that, and I'd done well on the cash games in Blackpool, so we thought, right, we'll go to the grand final for the first time, I think. And we went down there, and on I think it was the Wednesday, Mike ended up winning the £250 six max. So yeah, I don't know if he got another seat into the grand final for that. Maybe you were capped at one. And I still didn't have my seat. But then on the Thursday, I played the £250 Omaha event, and I won that. Event outright. So I ended up getting the seat for the main event. And yeah, the main event was crazy. It was weird, the main event, actually, because I was on the same when I bought into the main event on that. I was on the same seat number and table number as my birthday. And I always thought it was always just a bit. I was always just a bit like superstitious about that. But actually, on my table towards the end of day one I had Mustafa Kanit to my right, who I didn't know who he was at the time, but I just remember him completely outplaying me in one hand and thinking, who the hell is this guy? But he wasn't well known, Mustafa, at this time. This 2013, he would have sort of been still struggling to get like a big result. And two to my left, I had Bryn Kenny.
Yeah, it gets easier then.
Yeah, so these guys were. I ended up winning a big pot with Bryn. Where I had ace king and he had queens, and I ended up getting two big streets of value on a king board. But yeah, I just sort of survived day one. I think I ended up bagging about 90,000. And day two, day two was insane. I think probably up until recently, or like I think it's my favorite ever day of poker. Like, it was just insane. Like, I ran 90,000 chips up on day two of a GUKPT into 1.58 million or something, and it was just absolutely insane. Like, I was just going and going and going and going, and yeah, everything was coming off.
Awesome. Must have been a great final as well. Obviously, Kev Allen won it. One of the nice guys around the tables. Oh,
yeah. Kev's a great guy. I love seeing him at every start.
And March 2014, we make another final table, this time in Manchester. 192 entries. You finished 4th to 15,000. But first three, Simon Dedman, Steve Warburton and Rhys Jones. What a final four to start with. But as soon as you bust, they just decided to chop it up.
Yeah, I think that there was even. I think Carl Marenholtz and a couple of other good players were on that final table as well. Like, pound for pound, at the time, it was the most insane GUKPT final table ever. Yeah, that was that was an incredible one. Simon Dedman was someone that I was really, really, really watching at this time as well. I really admired him, and I think in my opinion, he's the most complete GUKPT player, the best GUKPT player ever, just because, well, yeah, I mean, his record would be right up there. And he I just used to watch him and learn a lot from him. And his attention to detail and stuff was really, really good for me to sort of use him. Like he used to know what I was thinking before I was thinking it as well. It like I'd make a big bluff or something and I'd go to mock my cards and I could see him looking out of his corner of his eye and he'd have a little smile on his face and he'd go, you were bluffing there, weren't you, Richie? And he just knew every single time. He just knew, and I'd have to fake it sometimes and say, no, actually, I had that one time, like, because otherwise he'd just be able to read me. Like his focus was absolutely in a different league to anybody else's.
Well, the following week, the form just continued because you went to Sheffield, played in the GPS, 400 entries, second. And this time you chopped it with James Parker and the one and only Mr. Ali Malou.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
what's it like playing against the Malou?
Oh, well, this final table was really, really difficult to navigate because Ali Malou was on my left, I believe, and he had all the chips. So anytime I'd raise a strong hand, like ace 10 suited or something, you just go, oh, I'm all in. Like I couldn't do anything, and it was horrible. And I think the stacks. I think the stacks when we got to 300 to 3 left were something like Ali had 8 million, I had 1.3 million, and the other guy had 700,000. But it was getting late for Ali, and he was just like, yeah, I'll take this. I'm gonna get off home now. But special mention for Ali. He back in the day in the GUKPTs when I used to first following them around, like no matter where the festival was, he always used to win an event, and it would always be like.
Means nothing, I'm told. It means that I don't end up on these shoots later. I think so.
Is it please Cornell for one tier? Cornell, how much you hold? Thank you. Is it please Fair for one tier? How much you hold? Thank you.
Which means he'll pause it and just use his initials on the frame. Can you take them off the watches?
Yeah, you can, like, as long as they're over there. Yeah. As long as I've got that circle.
Yeah, because I usually have all my cards.
He's back. He's back.
Well rested.
How you feeling, young man?
I feel good. I feel good this morning. Ready to go. Looking forward to the big one.
There were rumours there was somebody looking like him around Leicester Square. I had to get the police out, but no, it wasn't true. Straight to bed. Straight to bed he was. A couple of hours early, obviously, because we had some great help yesterday for the David Hay Invitational from Katie and from Rick and from Dave Doherty as well. So thanks to one and all, me and Jamie finished off the night. I think when we got to 500 and the big stack had 11 bigs, we knew it wasn't going to be long. Yeah. But it went on. But well done to everybody who cashed yesterday. It was a great effort. and honestly, it was just what a day yesterday. We had 3 separate events, and the 3 events were just great. And I think one of the best things for us for coming for 3 weeks, we don't normally do that, do we? We normally just do the grand final.
We usually just do. This is usually our first day, Tower.
The variations have been fantastic. It's so well received as well. They've been well received by everybody. So it has been good. If you are struggling to find us on YouTube, it does come back up again. It's like a lorem to themselves at the minute, YouTube. I don't know why. It just is. But we've had the cash, we've had the NPL, we've had the MIDI day 2. We had the 3 events yesterday, the 6 max and the heads up, and then the David A. It's been great to have the different variations of all the games. At the moment, what's been your highlight?
Highlight, God. It's got to be the playoff, I'd say. The way everyone was social. I've really enjoyed that on the bubble of the playoff. Everyone going around the tables every time there was an all-in and a call. I think, the playoff was probably my favourite. Close second, the PLO cash game was very good watch as well. So, but lots of highlights. It's very good to do some comms on the 6 max. As well as heads up as well. Yeah, and now we've got looking there. We've got the MIDI champion. Yep.
Vidas Siriunis is going to entertain us. A little bit quieter in the club today. 4 or 5 minutes late before we started proceedings. So already 6 or 7 minutes behind schedule. But players coming in all the time, and we said yesterday we think 100 will be round about the numbers for today, and then tomorrow, well,
over 300.
Bring your own chair.
Bring your own chair day, yeah.
Bring your own chair. And gets a call. Tower. Hello. Ali Malou. All right, Ali, how you doing? Ali's in town. See you tomorrow, Tower. Okay. Ali Malou coming back down to play the grand final. Ali is back. See you tomorrow. Okay, thanks for coming. He will be there. But good afternoon, everybody in the comms, and good afternoon, all you guys who have been watching for the last 3 weekends. We are just about to start the reason why we're here. The grand final, £2,000 buy-in, an estimated prize pool of, I'm going to say, 750,000.
I'll have the overs on that now. I'll definitely have the overs on that now.
Okay, that's 400 runners, you know.
Yeah. And the rest?
Well, your line was
447 with Kev.
447 with Kev. Good afternoon, Kev.
Afternoon, Kev. I've got the overs. Got the overs.
Kev's lost again.
Afternoon, Ricky Kebabs says his highlight was Brad shoving 25 big grinds with ace cream. And afternoon, Twinny on Twitch as well, just tuning in. But we are just about to start here with our first hand underway. We're starting free-handed. I'll let you know who's meant to be at the feature table.
Who's meant to be at the feature table, Jay? Come on, tell us.
So, I don't actually know who one is. It's not on my list. But in 2's Cameron Beckford. In 3's meant to be Guy Taylor. In 4, Vidas Siriunis. In 5's meant to be Chris Maguire. In 8, Adnan Charma.
Chris is here.
And in 9 is Ty Fan.
We need a name for seat 1. His initials are TL.
TL.
TL. So we need to think.
TL.
No. TL. I don't know. TL. Give us a name for seat 1. TL. We're not calling him TL.
Does his middle name begin with F? Then we can go for Transport for London. Go with the old TFL. We need help for the
seat 1 is going to be TL.
Afternoon, Ewan. And afternoon, John Hare.
See, I always like Trevor.
Trevor?
But Trevor Reardon's playing.
Ah.
So a big TR is playing. But we could call him Trevor unless we come up with something else. At the moment it's Trevor.
If you don't want us to use your name on the live stream, we'll make one up. Simple as that.
Good afternoon, Gully. Just tuning in on Twitch. Looking forward to a great weekend. Good luck to everyone.
This will be epic. Really looking forward to this.
Yeah, be the same scenario day one starting as it always does. First 2 to 4 levels usually.
Yeah.
Fairly quiet, short-handed to start first session of the day.
I think Richard Whitmore knows who it is. If you know who it is, Rich, can you ask him why we're not allowed to use his name? Thanks. Chris Maguire. Fresh from Vegas. He's had a trim. Look at that. He's had a proper trim. That's not a £7 sit down, what would you like, kid? Is it? Look at that. That's a proper trim. I wonder if I was Peter called Pickles the other night.
Yeah.
He was going for some kind of Turkish facial.
It goes for a lot of ways.
Where you have buds shoved up your nose and waxed and then yanked down again.
Pretty normal
that's
these
pain.
days. Yeah, that's all right. It's only like a
Surely
couple
that's
of
got to be
seconds.
painful. You got to pay for it. Why would you have something shoved up your nose and pulled back down again and pay for it? That's horrendous. Isn't it?
It gets rid of your nose hairs. It's
Yeah,
the way forward these days.
but your body's supposed to have nose hairs because it stops all the little bugs getting up there and it stops the pollen getting in there so you don't get hay fever. You can't pull them out because you need them. Don't understand it. And he pays for it. He pays for it. I don't understand it. So we are four-handed now as Chris Maguire has come to the table. Dad's been here all week playing well. Got himself a seat in the 5K, which is one of the reasons why it was such a good stream. Because he had 0.75 of a blind when we found out on the outer table.
Like Craig had one big blind, there was now a couple of 3 big blind stacks. It was just
and one of the short stacks on the outer table got called by 7 deuce and the whip getting there. So yeah, it was a great watch, the NPL, it really was. But we are here now for the grand final, the £2,000 buy-in. And as we always know, the Thursdays are a little bit quieter, but we'll run through what we've done this last 3 weeks and we'll run back on some of the results. But our champion from the MIDI is sat in seat 4. Aye, Chiesa. Buongiorno, signori. Aha. Hello, sir. No. Buongiorno, Chiesa. Florence's finest. Yeah, it worked out well for Craig Dawson as the ace king was forced folded actually. In the end, we had a ruling. He was out of his chair once and he picked up ace king.
mad.
And he could have saved his tournament. But it has been a fantastic 3 weeks. It's been great from Cardroom Direct and Jim to work out the 3 weekends of poker. We normally just do the grand final and the final event, but with poker booming as it is this year, they decided about a month before that we'll do each weekend, and we'll get a stream on every weekend, and it's worked out absolutely perfect. Loved it. Afternoon, Essa.
How are we doing, Essa?
Hope you're well. A bit fresh in Morecambe today.
It's fresh here today.
Fresh.
It's beautiful blue skies, but God, you feel the cold today walking in.
Yeah, it was warmer in Blackpool.
I call. I call. Not having that.
The wind was nearly as strong. He had his first domestic walking into work. Had his first domestic walking into work because one of the waves came over the wall and wet him. Rookie error. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. So Trevor in seat number 1. So we start with on the way to Blackpool shortly is Essa. Funny girls party with 10 likely lads tonight. Oh, he'll have a bag full of salmiakki. Oh, his satchel will be full of it. Enjoy Blackpool tonight, Essa. Have a good night. We are into December. The Christmas jumpers have been bought.
Yep, all set and ready for
we
tomorrow.
We are going to be ready for tomorrow. Everybody in the building, if you want to join in the fun, Christmas jumper day tomorrow at the grand final. We will be here. The team are ready. Simon's got his spray paint ready.
So that I'm quite glad it's Christmas jumper day tomorrow. It means I can wear that, and then I only have to Saturday and Sunday with 2 of my black, my new black tops that I bought.
Oh yeah, I've heard they're really dashing.
This will be zipped up on Saturday and Sunday. Don't.
You can always go out and buy 2 more.
Yeah, I know, but
You'll have an hour dinner break.
yeah, I could do.
There are plenty of shops on this street.
Yeah.
And you're 10 minutes away from Oxford Street.
I don't want to put them to waste now, though. So I've already bought them.
Well, we have to tell you, he went shopping. He doesn't do shopping very often, as we know. He didn't do shopping. He thought, I'm not going home. He was going home, decided against it because of whatever reasons. I need to go shopping. I'll go and get some new shirts for work. What did you buy?
Well, I thought, but they were lying there like that. I just black t-shirts, my size, grabbed them quick, just in Primark, a couple of cheap ones, chucked them in the bag onto the till. Got back to the hotel, opened them up. They've got a V-neck down to about here. So,
have you got a hairy chest?
Maybe on maybe on my dinner break I might have to go and purchase a couple more. But open them up and they're V-necks on proper V-necks.
Gold chain,
yeah.
cigar.
yeah.
The glasses. What is he like? Oh dear. We at Christmas jumper day tomorrow. If you want to join in the fun, come and have a. In fact, what we do want, and we'll put commands in at Just J on Twitter and the Tower 68. We want a picture of you watching the live stream in a Christmas jumper.
Yep, for tomorrow.
That's what.
Well, I'll tell you, we'll do a giveaway or something as well. We'll see what we can for the best tweeted in picture in a Christmas jumper.
That's what we want. Tweets of watching the live stream in Christmas jumpers, and Jay's gonna sort something out.
Yeah, I'll sort something out for. I'll do a giveaway for someone.
And I'll give away.
Yeah.
What? Already? I tell you what, I love other people juking in money at us. Nice flop from the dealer.
Jim Marlowe.
Jack 5-8.
If it's slow, it's because I was messing about with all the connections at the back.
So yes, we're going to stick our Twitter handles on the commands and in the box, and pictures of you watching the live stream in a Christmas jumper tomorrow. A Christmas, what was it?
Christmas cracker ticket.
A Christmas cracker ticket to the
best
to
picture.
one of the best ones. Loving it.
Me and Tower on the panel for that one, deciding who we're giving it away to. So plenty of effort wanted from you guys.
That's tomorrow. Final buying day of 2021, the resumption after the lockdown of the GUKPT, and what a year it's been. Numbers absolutely incredible. Yes, beforehand on the grand final at this moment in time. There's not a lot we can do about that.
Afternoon, Alan.
The V-neck at Arlo would be special.
No chance. No chance.
Is this a club where you play?
Yeah.
He'll be in it next week, Alan. Can we send in photos of us wearing low-cut black V-necks instead? Oh dear. Chiesa, we're gonna. If you've got Twitter, we're gonna give you that. We're gonna give you our Twitter handles. Jay and the Tower. We're on Twitter.
You can get involved, Chiesa, but just in case you do win, it's UK players only for that. So if you do win,
we'll sort you out. We'll sort something you out. We'll come and give you a ticket personally. Yes, it's we're going to be on Twitter tomorrow, so you'll have to send us the pictures tomorrow via Twitter. And then what we will do is obviously use the Twitter and get it held up against the camera so you can see some of the pictures, or just follow us. We'll get the Twitter handles put up onto the.
But we'll do it in the commands for the giveaway.
In fact. Oh, Chiesa. Essa, what are you doing? There'll be somewhere you can send us a picture. On Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. I'm sure we'll get it somehow. Because to be fair, Essa's from Lapland.
Yep.
Doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No.
In fact, Essa probably knows him.
Afternoon, Lisa on Twitch. Early stages, day one here, level one of the big one, the grand final. Started very quiet in the club, but expecting more entries as the day goes on. Short-handed to start and very deep poker. Just a lot of feelers for the table. Don't expect too much action unless there's a cold deck.
Afternoon, Leeson. Leeson, 9292. Essa, I'll send you the message shortly.
So Cameron, blind on blind here. Two decent hands in the blinds. Cameron raising up the ace jack and Vidas get a call with the king queen. $10.99. Gut shot for Vidas. Ace high Cameron still good, but Vidas not going anywhere here. 2 overs gut shot position. So 2 of diamonds on turns. The ace jack remains the best hand, and Vidas not choosing to fire with his 2 over cards and Broadway draw. And ace of diamonds on the river, giving the ace jack the check mark. Might come in for value here. Although we may expect Vidas to bet 10x on the flop a lot of the time, so not sure what we're trying to get called by. I have to bet that spot. There's Cameron. Vidas winning our midi main earlier on in the week.
Flop on top. Santa's post-flop strategy is checking it twice. Hey. Oi, are you still there on holiday? Where did he go?
St Lucia.
St Lucia, still there. Travel home on Saturday, we'll miss day 2. Well, you'll be back on Sunday for the final. I don't know if Fiorentina are at home, but miss it. because it's a grand final on Sunday, the final streaming day of 2021 from the team. You don't want to miss it. It will be an epic weekend. Looking forward to this so much. Estimated prize pool of 750,000. Everybody said overs.
Queen 10-5, 2 clubs. Blind on blind here, both players catching a piece, so Chris going to lose some chips in this one. 4 of hearts turn. And Vidas firing again, and Chris going to have to call here with second pair top kicker. And decision will occur on the river if Vidas does go for 3 streets here, and does go for the 3rd street of value, and Chris here with ace 10 in a little bit of a spot here. Obviously Vidas can have a whole host of Queen X, but Chris with the ace 10 probably thinks he's a bit too high up to be folding this one blind on blind. Pays it off, and Vidas back up over started.
Oi, oi, Fletch, the pot washer's in the building. I tell you what, he's looking to get days off work because it's getting busy now towards Christmas. Probably getting busy. Second in the landlord of the year was the Wrightington, the White Lion at Wrightington. Second, good effort. How you doing, Bernie? We are all good, thank you very much. It's -5 in Lapland at the minute, on the 2nd of December. It's not bad actually. Up the gas, yeah, this should be awesome. And I know we're starting short-handed at the moment, not a lot you can do on day 1 of the grand final. People will come through the door. Good shout, that John Garlick prize pool of 864,000. That's a good shout. How many numbers is that then? That's 1,800. That's nearly
480.
480. 480. 28 degrees, Ricky Jesus. There's a little bit of difference to -5 at Lapland.
It's all in good spirit, Brad. And afternoon Mark on Twitch, just tuning in as Vidas choosing to raise here after Chris fires turn. Not really too many bluffs he's going to have in this spot, Vidas, early on. Maybe some diamonds, like some Jack 10 or Queen Jack of diamonds. And second tough spot, Chris has been put in by this man early on here.
Afternoon, Marco. Just gets down the way.
Really good fold, that tower. Just makes the assumption that Vidas is never raising worse for value, and that he's not going to have any bluffs here this early stage, and makes a really nice fold there from Chris, especially after flop goes check check, makes it even better.
Afternoon, Marco. I don't even know if Rennie's bought in. I've not seen Rennie.
Renee's in. I've seen
Rennie,
Renee,
is she?
yeah,
Well, she's on the hour table. You never know. When the tables change every 2 levels, we could get Rennie share onto the feature table.
And John Garlick says Team Mushrooms Chris Bartlett playing today.
Look who's
Playing tomorrow.
David Hayes just walked in, sat down onto table number 2. First question: how did you get on last night? Yes.
Final table.
Got unfortunate. He did actually. He actually did. Ace 5 against Ace Queen on an Ace 5 X flop.
Yeah, Queen on the turn. It was a pretty brutal caller for David Hay, but it's part of poker. I'm sure by now he's been playing long enough to understand it's part of the game.
So just 4 days left from the team this year.
Just 4.
I know.
Where's it gone, Tower?
Been incredible when we started on the 15th of July to fit in all the legs. A nice trip to Dublin for the team as well. It has been literally non-stop. You'll have some washing for you next week, Gail.
I don't actually think I'm going home either, Tower. I don't even think I'm going home.
Well, you've got to wear them new shirts to
Yeah.
You might as well use them.
I don't think Mum might not see me till Christmas Eve now, maybe 23rd, 24th, something like that.
Make sure there's no spuds for Christmas Day, is that what you're saying? Afternoon, Pickles, with Pixie. Gary Clark.
Hello, Gary.
Gary will be going to a gig tonight. It's Friday night. Oh, it's Thursday night, isn't it? We're going for a Jace treble on Saturday. We're having a Jace treble on Saturday. The reserves coming in.
Yeah, we're just having a substitution for 1 week.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in the lab, the proper lab.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Pixie will be off to some kind of gig on Friday night and Saturday. I used to get excited at this time of year when all Christmas songs started coming out. We used to have betting on the Christmas #1, and you could walk into a bookies and find out which song was going to be Christmas #1. It was coveted and it meant a bit. Not anymore. You have to listen to Magic FM to listen to Christmas songs nowadays.
Everywhere now.
They are. As soon as you walk into a shop. But it is Christmas Jumper Day tomorrow on the stream. We'll get you our Twitter handle so you can send us a picture.
So 3-bet pot here between TL and Vidus, and both
Trevor.
players with Trevor.
Or Timothy.
Trevor or Timothy?
Which one?
I like Trevor.
Right, okay.
Magical Trevor.
Trevor in C1.
And Vidus going to pull out the float here with Jack 9 of hearts. Does have position. The 3 of spades on the turn, and expect this to go check bet now, Tower. I think once Vidus floats this hand, he's going to be inclined to fire once check to us on the turn, if we're making the assumption that TL is going to be barreling his King X, and Vidus actually had the best of it.
Well, I know it was something else obscure for Gary. Is it the ferret in Preston seeing discharge? Is that not just at 11 PM when we all leave? Afternoon and welcome to the live stream. This is what we've done. That right there is everything we have done in the last 3 weeks.
And we got to cross yesterday's off as well.
We have.
Well, only cross 2 off for me. We'll do a half line through Haymaker, sit and go.
And now the final 4 days. Day 1A today, day 1B tomorrow. Saturday and the Sunday when we crown a champion of the Grand Final. The first ever Grand Final champion is in the building, actually. Mike Ellis.
Mike Ellis.
Back in 2007. The first ever Grand Final champion.
Saw Jack Salter here last night winning the high roller as well.
Yes.
It's just crazy. I remember watching him like 18 years old on EPTs and stuff, and then just seeing him last night play the high roller, and ended up taking it down for just under 100 grand.
Yeah, it was a good effort. But that is what we've done. And if you do want to just finalise what we have left, Wednesday, the 1st of December, and our first day of streaming for the final of 3 weeks. We've got a grand final satellite cash out tonight at 9. They've been so popular.
Yeah.
I think there was another 10 seats yesterday in the satellite. The bounty was fantastic as well. The bounty was. I saw Ranverswani again on the final 2 tables. He's come back this year, hasn't he?
To be honest, he's been playing the last couple of years. So I've played in a few games with him. He's been about the last couple of years, but regarding tournaments, I think he's back on the tournament scene.
Yeah, we've got the cash out satellite tonight. It's the Turbo and Day B, Flight B tomorrow. There's the G400 one day on the Saturday, and the last side event is a £200 starting at 4:15. Starting at 2 o'clock, sorry. Finishing late reg at 4:15, and that's the final event, as we will be crowning a champion at some time during the evening. Fabulous, fabulous. There we go. Jack Salter, Gary Miller, Mark Wright. 133 entries. And a prize pool of 330,000.
I know, it's for a side event as well. It's it's amazing.
The Mad Turk in 7th. Well done, the Mad Turk for 10.7. Dan Moran in 9th. Tom Allbubble in the final table. Naresh Thacker.
Jizzy Lee there, who won our 1K as well a couple of weeks ago.
And Kenny Hallert in 15th in the money. Great entries on there. 133 for the high roller. And this is the bounty. Dan Stancer with 4,750. And don't forget, every time you knock somebody out, you will have got 150. That's what we don't know, is how many bounties these guys take. Ken Wong. Well done, Ken. He's been in the building all week. He's finished 2nd. Looked like a 4-way chop.
Look at 17th tower. Straight out the heads up and straight into the bounty to cash. Kerry Reese won our heads up championship yesterday and obviously flicked
it straight into the bounty. Good lad. Ranverswani finishing in 5th. Paul Noble, Chris Platt, Bruce Jones, and Colin Paddington as well. So 172 entries into the bounty event as well. That's fantastic. 25,000 in the prize pool plus £150 every time you knock somebody out. Yeah, Brian did well. Harlow Buchan finishing 11th. Well done, Harlow, and he's in the chat on Facebook. Well done, Harlow. That's a great result. How many bounties did you get? Taking on £460 out of the prize pool. Did you get a couple of bounties to make it a free roll?
I reckon he got at least 2, finishing 11th, at least. Maybe 3. Maybe even 3.
Nice one, Harlow. Two. Got 2, so he goes literally free rolling.
Yep.
Well done. Congratulations. Who we got in seat number 7, Jay?
Seat number 7
Were we already on the? Was he on the list?
Let's have a look. No. Weren't on the list. Obviously, just come for a bit of table balancing. In 9's meant to be Adnan Charma, Eddie, and in 9 is The Fam. So 8 Adnan and The Fam in 9 when they turn up. Currently Cameron Beckford in 2.
Is that your mum and dad playing? D-Fam. The Fam are coming. Your brothers and sisters turn up. So Cameron is seat number 2. See a flop with Mr. Maguire. 737. Oh, I'd love to get on one of them. So just 500 at the moment. First level of the day. Cup of tea time. Stay there, Jay. Look after your legs.
I will.
Good luck.
Oh, I'm not allowed back there. I'm not known like you, Tower. You're like a member of staff.
Tea by any chance?
Yeah, just a tea would be lovely. Thank you. Vidus opening king 3 in the cut-off, and Gary suited ace in the small, not going to be going anywhere. Just happy to call this one early stages. And that's going to bring old Trevor in with the ace 8. Jack deuce queen, 2 spade board. So the ace deuce actually taking the lead here. And Vidus opting to continue, and Gary happy to call once with bottom pair. And go to the turn. And Vidus been running hot this week. And just turning top pair here, and now Gary snap folds the bottom pair. Good morning, Barry Neville on Facebook. Day 1A grand final, £2,000 buy-in, expecting at least $750,000 prize pool for this one, and I'm sure we're going to get some names turn up as well over the next couple of days. Sure, it will be a star-studded field. Really looking forward to the next 4 days. Ollie, I played with him briefly this week in the mini. Well, it weren't this week, last week. In the mini main, I played with Vidus. He was on my table for a bit, but he was fairly short, so he was just doing a lot of folding and now busted. So I didn't even see really how he played that much. But I saw him a lot on the stream in the midi main last week, and can be a very tricky customer to play against. But me personally, sample size with him is very, very small.